Hey guys. Alright. So, I've been kind of going through my pins. I was going to do a different one, but decided against it because it wasn't even. Okay. I know this reaches everybody. But it was just like old news, like out of Maryland. So I was like, nah, I don't think I'll do that one. I'm trying to do things early today because I have to work. So, I have something in the oven, so I don't. My computer's not over there. My phone is on 38%, so I'm going to try to do this one kind of quickly. But I did find another one, and it's called Beginner Beekeeper, Beekeeping 101. I looked through it, it's not the exact same information. I mean, some of it's obviously going to be the same because the information is not going to change on the how-tos, but there's a little different information in this one, so. And the same information is presented a little differently, so. Okay, so hope everybody had a good night and got some good sleep. I'm not doing too bad. I'm actually pretty decent. Not really feeling tired or anything. I'm 12 days off pot, and I'm starting to feel better. I said that yesterday. Starting to feel better. I'm not as tired. This just goes to show your body does not need that caffeine. It just doesn't. So, little tidbit of information there, a little thought. Okay, so I'm going to get right into this, because I'm going to end up having to plug my phone in, and I don't have any good place to do that right out here, so. And this has become my new favorite place to do videos. That was weird. Okay. Beekeeping is one of the most challenging yet fulfilling hobbies I've ever taken on. I can't wait to be able to say that. Are you thinking about beekeeping this year? Well, not this year, but at least within a year. As a beekeeper for years now, I've got a lot to share with the beginner beekeepers in Beginner Beekeeper Beekeeping 101, so that you'll be as prepared and as educated as possible. Most of my life I've been dreadfully afraid of bees. Maybe you can relate. Yeah. Yet after moving to our 10-acre homestead, I began to notice an overall lack of bees, butterflies, and other insects on our property. Honestly, it was pretty weird. As a kid, I remember seeing all sorts of butterflies and insects. What happened to all of them? Where did they go? We live far enough out in the country. Really? Stupid ads. Encase the whole thing. In my mind, to see plenty of wildlife and wild insects. However, there was a lot I had yet to learn. Besides the obvious overuse of pesticides, the drastic loss of farmland to building has hurt our pollinators more than you might realize. Wildlife and wild insects have certain needs and requirements in order for them to live on and populate your property. Our area had been a large farm years before, but as it happens, the farm was sold and builders came in. All of the topsoil was stripped, as well as many mature trees and woods. And that sucks. Without trees, woods, and topsoil, the animals and insects had nothing to feed on or live in. At that point, it became my mission to not only become a beekeeper, but to do everything in my power to make this property a pollinator's paradise. And that's what I'm going to work on our property. I knew nothing about bees at this time. What steps did I take as a beginner, and how did I get started? She has a thing on there of how to move a beehive. There's a lot of inner information in this one that I might go back and make some mini videos out of. The beginner beekeeper. Beekeeping isn't something you can just jump into in one afternoon. It's not like when you get a new puppy. You already have a pretty good understanding of how a dog functions. Problems are easily identified and solutions are right around the corner pet supply store. Beekeeping isn't like this at all. First off, learning beekeeping is like learning Greek. Again, that's why we're waiting a year. At least it was for me at first. The learning curve was steep. It took me until my 3rd year of beekeeping to feel like I had my arms around this thing. This only came after a lot of time spent doing the things I list below before you bring any bees home. Without a good understanding of what's happening in your hive, you will only waste your money and frustrate yourself, and also lose your hive. Beekeeping requires time and energy. I want you to understand that on the front end. You must have the time, especially in the spring and summer, to be in your hives. These are the most active times for your hives, and believe me, you will have your hands full. This can be a wonderful thing if you're prepared and know what's going on. If not, it will be miserable and you'll lose time, money, and motivation. Hence, my recommendations for the beginning beekeeper are below. County extension classes. And I don't know if Latimer County offers that, but I might look into that. Especially if it's like online or something. Because we don't have a vehicle, so a little difficult to get to and from places. First and foremost, before you start beekeeping, call your county and see what support they have for beekeepers. You will likely be very surprised. My advice would be take every class they offer. Most beekeeping classes are taught in the winter when the bees are not active. The Ohio State University works through our county's extension office. It's amazing what they are able to offer. Many classes are free or have just a small fee. I took a bat workshop at my extension office that was free of charge, plus I got a very nice bat house at a great price. Join a bee club in your area. This is so important. Find your local and county bee club and join. Make sure you go to the meetings and meet as many folks as you can. Our club meets once a month except for January. Speakers are frequently brought in and I always learn something new, even though I've been beekeeping for years now. Your bee club is the best source for bee information, newsletter, pending legislation, upcoming conferences, local disease issues, etc. And again, I'll have to look into that. Find a mentor. Your local bee club is the best place to find a mentor. Simply ask for one during your meeting announcements or ask the leadership. Understanding that mentoring a new beekeeper can be very time-consuming, so make sure that your mentor has time for you. Also, if you plan to be a chemical-free beekeeper like me, and yes, we will, you'll want to make sure that your mentor is like-minded. Your club can help you find the right mentor. How to buy bees, nukes, or packages. Okay, that's going to be another little in-between video. Excuse me. I'll have to make another one of my apple cider vinegar drinks. Okay, sorry. Shadow your mentor for at least one bee season. As a beginning beekeeper, I would strongly recommend that you shadow your mentor's beekeeping for at least one season. This would include assisting your mentor in their bee yard, be available to help them with hive building, and maybe even tag along if they catch swarms. Make it worth their while to spend time with you by lessening their workload. Hands-on is the best way to learn about bees. Read the right books. In the beginning, sorry guys. Yuck. I think I'm going to have to do my other little olive oil and cayenne pepper and lemon and honey thingy. Okay. In the beginning, I read every book I could get my hands on about bees and beekeeping. This was a mistake. Why? Beekeeping philosophies vary widely. Frankly, it can be very confusing. My second year of beekeeping, I went to hear a geneticist from OSU speak about a new breed of bees. Afterwards, I spoke with him and asked him a few questions. Although highly intelligent, this gentleman lacked social skills for sure. He asked me what books I'd read about beekeeping. I told him everything I can get my hands on. Burn them all and burn them all in the burn pile, he said to me. What? He went on to ask me how I was doing with my bees. Again, I answered I'm doing okay. He said, that's because you're reading all the wrong books. Then he gave me a short list of the books I should read, including a textbook about bees. Then, and here's the wisdom. The man said, when you understand what the bees are trying to accomplish and why they do what they do, you'll be a good beekeeper. Crusty as this guy was, he spoke the truth. I got those books and read them cover to cover. I still read them. By far, this was the best advice I was ever given about beekeeping. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make my extra little thing today. Conferences and trade shows. There should be some conferences in your state. Just Google bee conferences in my state. Or, obviously your state. Conferences are a blast and perfect for beginner beekeepers. There are a ton of vendors with equipment to look at and ask questions about. Usually there are classes offered. Take everything you have time for. You will learn so much by attending a beekeeping conference. Be sure to take the beginner classes if you want to learn how to start beekeeping. My throat. Set aside funds for hives and equipment. Beekeeping can be expensive, especially as a beginner beekeeper. This is why I stress the importance of setting aside some funds for it. You need a lot of things to get started. Further, used bee equipment is difficult to find, and I'm not sure that I would want it anyway. Usually people who are selling bee equipment have failed at beekeeping. Diseases and parasites can embed themselves inside a hive. I wouldn't want to risk that for my bees. Me either. One new hive will cost you about $250. From personal experience, I recommend at least 2 hives to start. This allows you to draw resources from each hive when a queen dies and you need brood or you need more honey in your other hive. When I started, I insisted on 1 hive only. My queen died in a few weeks and my beekeeping was over for the season. I never made that mistake again. Here are a few essentials. In summary, to conclude, it may sound as though I am trying to talk you out of beekeeping. I'm not. However, I want you to go into this with your eyes wide open. Again, that's why we want to take a year. Selfishly, I want you to be a beekeeper. It's incredible on so many levels, but to be successful at anything, you need to count the cost before getting in. So, that was that one, and I'll get that one out there, and I'm going to check real quick and see if these actually are. These other little ones are actually something I could turn into other videos. Yes, they are. Okay. Yes, I will get this one out there and get the other 2 little ones done and uploaded. So I will see you guys in a few minutes on the next video. Bye, guys.